I lost my daughter in a car accident caused by a distracted driver. Yesterday I discovered the driver is now my sister's new fiancé and she expects me to be her maid of honor. The police report said he was looking at his phone for just 3 seconds. 3 seconds that took my 8-year-old daughter from me forever. Emma had been riding her bike in our neighborhood parrot wearing her helmet, staying in the bike lane, following every safety rule I drilled into her. The driver ran a stop sign at 43 miles per hour in a 25 zone. The court called it an accident. He got community service and a suspended license for 6 months. I got a lifetime sentence of empty bedrooms and birthday candles no one would blow out in the 2 years since Emma died. I've existed rather than lived. I moved across the state, changed jobs, started therapy. My younger sister Kate has been my lifeline parent, calling daily, visiting monthly, never letting me disappear completely into my grief. Last month she mentioned she'd met someone special. I was genuinely happy for her. Kate deserved love. You'll meet him at Thanksgiving, she told me during our Sunday call. I can't wait for you to see how amazing he is. I almost canceled. Socializing is still exhausting and meeting Kate's new boyfriend meant making conversation when most days I can barely order coffee without feeling overwhelmed, but she'd done so much for me I couldn't disappoint her. Yesterday I arrived at Kate's apartment with a bottle of wine and the smallest piece of my heart that still remembered how to be happy for someone else's joy. When she opened the door she was glowing. He's here. Come meet Eric. The moment I stepped into her living room the air left my lungs. I recognized him instantly. Part the man from the courtroom, the one who couldn't look me in the eye when the judge announced his sentence. He'd lost weight, grown a beard, but those eyes aren't. I'd seen them in my nightmares for 2 years. He recognized me too. I watched the blood drain from his face as Kate made introductions, oblivious to the silent horror passing between us. Eric told me about the accident, Kate said, squeezing his hand supportively. He's done so much volunteer work with children's bike safety since then. Is actually how we met. Parentier. I was covering the event for the newspaper. I stood, frozen wine bottle dangling from numb fingers as Kate continued. We wanted to tell you together, but now that you are here we're engaged, and I want you to be my maid of honor. She held out her left hand, a diamond catching the light. I looked from the ring to Eric's face. He was staring at the floor, his jaw tight. Does she know? I whispered. The subtle shake of his head was barely perceptible. Know what? Kate asked, her smile faltering. I set the wine bottle down carefully, afraid I might shatter it in my grip. That Emma was his accident. The silence that followed was deafening. Kate's eyes widened as she looked between us, comprehension dawning in slow, horrible waves. That's not possible, she whispered. Eric's accident was in Greenfield. Emma was in Riverside. Greenfield and Riverside are the same town, I said quietly. They renamed it after the merger 2 years ago, right after my daughter died there. Eric finally spoke, his voice barely audible. I wanted to tell you, Kate. There was never a right time. My sister's face crumpled as she backed away from him, her engagement ring suddenly looking like a grotesque joke. I didn't stay for the fallout. I walked out, drove to a hotel and turned off my phone. This morning I found 37 missed calls from Kate and 1 text from an unknown number. Eric Parter saying he was really sorry for everything. 2 years of therapy and my homework this week was to find one thing to be grateful for each day. Today, I am grateful that Emma will never know what it feels like to be betrayed by someone you love. Kate called again an hour ago. I'm not ready to talk, but I know eventually I will. She's the only family I have left, but some cracks can never be fully repaired, only lived with.